We're doing another milepost of the V-Twin Life. We talk motorcycles, powered by those V-Twins, why we enjoy it, what they mean to us, and just why we enjoy the open road. V-Twin Life is brought to you by CrashInClothing.com, also known as Crash Inc. on the World Wide Web. Man, Brad is on a lot of stuff. You want to get some merchandise, you want to get parts, you want to upgrade stuff on your bike. He is a dealer for a lot of great companies, so check out CrashInClothing.com and see what they got for you. Now, we got WildAss. You want to add some comfort to your ass? Man, WildAss has got you covered. They've got something you like. Use that promo code DWoods. Get yourself free shipping and put that ass in comfort. Can't forget Custom Dynamics, leading the world in LED lighting and LED technology. Man, these got some great stuff. You want to light up your life at nighttime? You want to be seen during the day? Hey, check out Custom Dynamics. Can't forget Lexan. These guys got some great comm units. I just got the new G16s. Man, you want to talk quality? These things are awesome. Loudspeakers, plus they got some air pumps, small ones you keep in your bike. They're ready to go. So check out Lexan. So now, let's get to another milepost of the V-Twin Life. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Milepost 116. Tonight we are joined by the one and only Mr. WildAss Craig himself. What's going on, Craig? Thanks for coming in, hanging out on Sunday.
Not too much. Thanks for having me, Denver. You caused me to get out of work a little bit early, working around the yard, not at work, but get to relax a little bit for a Sunday night.
That's always nice. Kind of, a peaceful ending to a work day. Get out a little early of the household chores.
Yeah. We took Rene and I both took Friday off and worked here at the house. So got some shingling done, got some wood cut, got some good physical labor done, and now it's time to relax.
Yeah, roofing can test you and tax you a little bit. That stuff isn't light. You got to pack it all. Did you get rooftop delivery?
No. Yeah.
Oh. You.
So we had, when I got back from Daytona, we had a crew lined up for Saturday. So that would have been a week ago. And we had a whole crew of people going to be here. And we'd have hammered out the house, the garage and the shed, and we'd have had it all done in a day. But the weather didn't cooperate. So I gave everybody the week off. Well, that leads us right into deer hunting here in Minnesota, and all my help's gone. So Rene and I plugged away at it.
Hey, priorities. You gotta fill that freezer.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Hayden, he got his deer 2 weeks ago. So yeah, we cut that up last weekend. So that was fun.
When is the deer season over in Seattle?
Yeah. No, rifle season's over now. They got to wait for late buck here. I think it's this coming weekend. They'll get 4 more days for modern firearm.
Yeah.
Then it goes back into muzzle loader and then to archery.
Okay. Yeah. So archery season here starts, I think, in September, goes all the way through the end of the year. It starts this weekend. And depending on where you're at in Minnesota, it's either next weekend or the following weekend is the last. So it's just a couple weekends. And then muzzle loaders sometimes late in December.
That's kind of how it is here, because you'll get the archery will start all of September, and then that'll end the last day of September. And then I think you got muzzle loader for 2 weeks, and then it goes 2 weeks for rifle. And then, you get time off because then elk season will start, and then you'll get late buck for modern, then muzzle loader. Then you'll get the last week of November and all of December for late archery.
Do you have elk out there where you're at?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we got the Roosevelt elk.
Are they very
bigger body,
presidential in elk and big antlers?
Yes.
And
yeah, they got, the base is a little bit bigger than like your Rocky Mountain elk. The Roosevelt are bigger bodied. They don't get as big of horns, but
so many fun. Jokes in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, always joking. That's Craig.
Yeah.
So you've kind of had a fun year, because I know I'm not sure how many people follow some of your adventures, but you're also big. Really enjoy the adventure bikes. That's kind of one of your passions, I think is fair to say.
It's fair to say that. If you've ever talked to Rene, if there's a motorcycle, I want it and I want to ride it. Growing up on dirt bikes like you did as a kid, the adventure motorcycle is one that I'm really kicking myself for not getting into 20 years ago. It's so much fun. It's like going right back to your dirt bike life, except the stuff that I've been working on lately is more for the dirt bike life as a 50-year-old, because you can't crash that fast anymore and recover as quickly. So the adventure bike it's a lot of fun.
I think it'd be fun. I wouldn't mind getting an adventure bike at some point in time, because I think it'd be a lot of fun, especially up here in the Northwest. I mean, with the the fire roads, you got all the Forest Service roads. There's a lot of backcountry that could be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to come out there and ride it.
Oh, you'd have a blast, especially up through the Cascades and everywhere. Even out here in the peninsula, there's all kinds of roads you can take off and go up and explore.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, growing up with the dirt bike, it's kind of funny because a lot of the events we go to, the Harley guys, we've all had dirt bikes at some point in our life. It seems like, and not we all, but most people had dirt bikes as a kid and whatever. But when we parked the adventure bike in the booth, we got a BMW, that's company colors, black and yellow, of course. When we park that in the booth, that gets more attention than any custom painted Harley in the lot, just because of that. So many of us, grew up with dirt bikes, had dirt bikes of some sort, rode our neighbors, whatever the story is. It's a story that bike brings you back to, and it does that for me as well.
I think the attention having it in your booth also, I mean, a lot of these shows, everybody thinks Harleys, hey, the WildAss Cush is great for your touring bike. Then all of a sudden they see an adventure bike. It's like, hey, this kind of different, and then can open up a whole other avenue for you guys. To bring more attention to you, basically.
Yeah, that's what we want, of course.
Yeah. So I want to hear more about. Oh, go ahead.
Did you get to see the bike? You saw the BMW when you were in Sturgis with us, right? Okay.
Yeah, it was all dirty.
Yeah, it was really dirty then. It's a full-blown dirt bike, just massive. I don't even know. I'm such a dork because I don't know any of the technical specs at all. Like, people go, how big's that gas tank? I don't know. It's that big, point at it. Like, I don't know. Holds a bunch of gas. I know that. But
gets me where I want to go.
I don't know a lot about it. I just know I really like to ride it. But yeah, huge gas tank sitting in front of you. So it's this dirt bike that's got this massive gas tank on it, and it sits really high off the ground, and I just love riding it.
Be fun. So how'd you find out? I kind of want to talk a little bit about your deal when you went to compete to join Team USA with BMW. Now, how'd you find all that and get going down that avenue?
That's kind of a funny story. So you had kind of said, people think WildAss is this big, touring bike thing, right? And it's not only that. We do all kinds of motorcycles. We do everything. One event that we do, probably one of our largest events of the year, is the BMW rally, and that travels. And that's an event that we do, and that led to kind of like, like everything, through relationships and everything else, we kind of got weaseled my way into the Adventure Fest, which was out in Sturgis at the Buffalo Chip. It must have been 3 years ago now. So, or 2 years ago, I guess, 2020, I suppose. I don't know. Whenever it was. So I always wanted an adventure bike, or I thought I did, right? And I wasn't sure, but at one of these BMW events, Rene's boy Dade was looking for a motorcycle. He wanted a crotch rocket. I wanted him to get like a V-Star 650 or something. And we ended up, we found these V-Stroms. Actually, we found two of them. And I was negotiating on both of them down in, we were in Tennessee at the time. And Rene's like, well, what are you going to do if both of these guys take your offers? I said, then we're going to go home with two of them. And I'll just let him pick which one he wants, and we'll go from there. Well, that was my introduction to the adventure bike. I knew I'd wanted one. I kind of, like had it in the back of my mind, but never really did anything about it. I just always wanted one because I didn't, where I live, where am I going to ride it? First off, what am I going to do with it? I want one, but I really don't know why. Probably just because it's got two wheels and I can ride it. So so we ended up coming back with two V-Stroms, got both of them. He picked his, which was bright yellow, of course. So then I got stuck with the gray one, and absolutely, it was a Suzuki V-Strom 650. Fell in love with it, and if within one person, any direction, anybody you talk to, they have owned a V-Strom 650, and they will tell you it's the best bike there is. I loved it. It was a great bike. Well, then in one of the dirt bike or one of the motorcycle magazines, BMW came out with their 40 years edition GS, which was a black and yellow coloring. And I'd kind of had my heart set on the Triumph Tiger. Just, I knew a guy that had one. It was really cool. I loved that European adventure bike look, the dinky little headlight, the huge gas tank. I loved everything about it. Well, BMW came out with this GS in black and yellow. And it was like, whoa, like the heaven gate opened up, and it was the motorcycle I never knew that I always wanted, right? And I ended up asked Rene, I'm like, hey, check this out, huh? And she's like, no way in hell. So fast forward a little ways, then we got the BMW, and we compromised, and I got my motorcycle, and we went to this adventure fest. Right. So that's all happening behind the scenes. And then we're doing this other stuff with WildAss, and we're trying to get our way into this adventure event. And I'm like, these guys want our cushion, because these guys are getting on these bikes. They're riding across country. They're spending days, on their motorcycle, camping. They have no, they're not even going to hotels. Right. They really want our cushion. And when they get them, they love them. We know this because we've been doing BMW events forever. So we go to this adventure fest, and we set up, and I think at this point my bike had 130 miles on it. Like, I picked it up and I don't even know, I must have rode around a little bit on it somewhere, and it was sitting in our booth. And at the Buffalo Chip, we were set up, and there was a parking lot in front of us, and then right across, right at the other side of the parking lot was this huge grass field. And BMW had this big course set up with all these cones and stuff. Now my bike's sitting there shiny and brand new, and Continental hooked me up with a set of tires. We had those tires put on it, and the tire guy scratched my wheel, and I'm like, oh, this is so not cool, right? Because it had the gold rims. Back when we were kids, I mean, you're not quite my age, but close, but all the factory bikes had gold wheels, right? So the gold wheels were cool. So I had
gold.
Yeah. And this tire changer guy just put a massive scratch in them. And the BMW guy came over, and he checked it out, and he's like, well, the tire guy's like, well, I'll buy you a wheel if you want me to, whatever. And I kind of went, you're doing this as a favor. Fuck it. Right. I mean, what are we going to do? It's scratched. It is what it is. Let's not worry about it. Let's just go on. The bike, I bought the bike so I could drop it, crash it, scratch it, whatever. And we just kind of let it go. And Aaron, the guy that's in charge of the BMW training center, performance center, for motorcycle training, he kind of caught wind of this whole thing. And I think it was later on that day, he comes over and he goes, hey, why don't you come over and try out the course? I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, I can't do that stuff. No way. And he's like, no, seriously. And what I think it was just killing him that this shiny new BMW GS was sitting there not being used, and they had a course right there. Well, the adventure event it's a little bit different. Like, there's a few hundred people there in the morning. All the vendors close midday. Everybody goes out riding. So there's nobody around. It's a ghost town. So I decide I'm going to go try this out. BMW guys are like, yeah, it's cool. Let's go try it out. So they all coax me into coming over, and I come over there, and I like literally did this whole, it's all for people that don't know what this is that we're talking about. It's kind of like you see the police bikes do on parking lots where all the cones and stuff are set up, except this is in grass.
Yeah.
And on dirt. Right. So did the whole, started to do the weave thing. I think I went 1 cone, 2 cone down, immediately fell down. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, by the time I got back to the bike, 2 guys were there picking it up. And they weren't saying, here's what you did wrong. Here's what you did wrong. They were saying, oh, you can do this. You got this. Don't worry about it. Try this. And it was a really cool experience is what it was. And they basically just coaxed me into trying the whole thing. So I went through their little course that they had set up, and they were coaching me through it, showing me how to do it. That's the first I'd ever heard of this, right? Doing anything like this. They had a competition that day or that weekend. I think it was the last weekend. They're like, oh, you got to come and try it. You got to try it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I did. I went and tried it, and I ended up, I think I lost the tie for third or something. And they did a whole point scoring thing. So that was my first introduction. Well, that weekend, Aaron that I mentioned earlier, he goes, hey man, he goes, we have this event coming up at the training center in Greer, South Carolina. And, you know, I love your attitude. I love what you got going on. I love what you're doing. I love your colors. I love that you're using our bike. Would you come down and vend for us? He says, I'm not going to charge you a dime. He says, I just want you to come down there. And, you know, people are going to come in from all over the country, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I can promise you 0 things, but I will charge you $0. I'm like, yeah, let me think about that. So I quick pull up a map, and I got a good friend that lives like in the next town. I'm like, so no vending fee and no lodging. Those are your major expenses at all these events. So
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, I think I can make it work. So I did. I went down there, and that was 2 years ago. No, so it would have been 21 in the fall of 21. And I called. It's funny. Do you know what the GS Trophy is now? Did you know before?
Yeah.
You
Oh
know
yeah.
now? Okay.
Yep.
So I didn't know what the GS Trophy was. I had no idea. I had no clue at all. So I Googled GS Trophy and found out there's a show on Amazon. If any of your viewers want to look it up, go on Amazon, search GS Trophy, and it's a show from, I can't remember now, but it's from the GS Trophy in 2020. So I watched this show, and I'm like, man, I want to go do that. So that was on like Saturday, Sunday, and then I'm gonna get back to Dylan's comment. So that was like Saturday, Sunday, and Monday I get back. Now I'm leaving like Tuesday to go to this thing. Monday I call down there. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to sign up on your site for this thing, and it doesn't let me. And Ricardo is the guy's name. He goes, well, sign up ended months ago. I'm like, oh, okay. He said, why? I said, well, I told him, you know, I bought this bike, really want to ride it. I never get a chance to ride. And I figure if this event's going on, nobody's going to be standing at my trailer. So I might as well come out and play with everybody. And he goes, well, there's no way we're going to be able to get you a jersey or a sign. I'm like, a sign for what? He goes, well, you get a reserved parking spot. I said, I'll just park at my trailer. Whatever. And he's like, yeah, I said, I don't need a jersey. I just want to ride. I don't care about that. And he's like, well, let me call you back. Calls me back an hour later and says, we can get you in. I said, take my money. So that was 2 years ago, 21. I went, tried it out, and actually did fairly well. I thought, man, that was cool. So I kind of, you know, I did the thing, forgot about that. Well, you know what? I'll try it again in a couple of years, because what they do is qualify every other year. And then the opposite year is when the trophy is. So that year, I can't even remember where it was. And then the following, Albania, that's what it was last year. The competition was in Albania. This year, the qualifier. Next year, Namibia, Africa. So I'm like, well, I'm going to try. And I trained and I tried and I did all that. But that's how I got into it, right? That was your question. How'd you get into this? That's how it started. That's how it started. What did Dylan say?
Oh, what was it?
Falling over.
Yeah, here we'll get back. Oh, here we go.
So,
sometimes the damn thing just falls over.
It does. So we were in the yard, and Rene, I got her riding a dirt bike too. I don't know if you can see it. I had to get out of the way. It's like right there. Anyway, but so got her a little dirt bike so she could play in the backyard. Dylan and Misty had come over, and we were playing around in the backyard. I had a course set up where I was practicing, and this is the first time I've ever talked about this publicly, so he brought it up. But we're out there practicing. Dylan's farting around on the TTR, and I'm on the BMW, and we're like kind of almost not really racing, but cruising through the slaloms and stuff. And I'm like, here, take my bike, try it. He's like, all right. So he gets on it, and I turn around. I mean, it was literally like he goes off, goes to my starting line that I had set up. And then I turn around to talk to Misty, and all I hear is this bang. We look back, and Dylan's like rolling in the grass. So, and it happens. It's a strange phenomena that we have here at the Dueling Rooster. Things just crash. We don't know what causes it, but Dylan happened to be the victim that night. So it was a good time.
Well, it's like, you talk adventure bikes. I was always been a fan of the Dakar Rally, and watching those guys. I mean, God, they're insane at the speeds they're going flying across the desert, and that's when I first found that years ago. But yeah, it's so much fun watching those, and it's like, damn.
Yeah, it's adventure, or the Dakar Rally. I always thought would be fun. I always thought that would be a blast because the only way to do sand is at speed, and they're in a lot of sand.
And they're flat hauling.
Yep.
I mean, when you see them, they're literally on the verge of dumping it. They're going so fucking fast across the desert. It's like, holy crap.
The motorcycle doesn't want to crash either.
No. And I don't think I'd want to crash at that speed on sand. That would freaking hurt.
Yeah, there's a certain speed there that's a little less forgiving than most.
Yeah. So how many courses, I mean, not courses, but like, classes and training, whatnot, have you done, just practicing with doing the adventure stuff?
At Adventure Fest, again, this Revzilla event, they do it here in the Midwest at Sturgis. If you haven't gone, if anybody watches this thing that has an adventure bike, whether it's a Pan Am, a KLR 650, or even a KLX 230, just show up at the thing. It's so fun. But they had they called it the Taste of the Trophy, where it's that thing that I did. I didn't even know what I was doing, right? But it was just to set up a course in the grass and do that. So I did it that first year. And then last year, I'm like, nope, I'm qualifying next time. Like, this is it. I want to do it. They had the Taste of the Trophy, and they do these trainings free, and they do 3 a day. And I did every single one, like everyone. And at the end of the weekend, they have a competition where you can go and win a free day of training down at their facility. So I did the 3 there.
Cool.
Each day. So I probably had a half a dozen there. They were all pretty basic, but I'm a guy that training is training. Basics are basics. If you can't master the basics, you can't step into that next level. And so I went and I did that, and I did that, and I did that, and I did that, and I was feeling really good. We built a course here at home, so I ran through that a bunch of times. Evidently not enough, but quite a few times. And I did go down to South Carolina for 3 days, 2 days of trophy prep course, which was it was more working in teams, like as team events, because the trophy is a team. So you get 3 guys, and you each have to. Yeah, they test you to see how you work as a team with strangers, because the trophy event, once you travel to Africa, you have your team, and you guys need to work well together. So that was the trophy prep course, was 2 days of that, and then some riding skills testing, not real coaching. They had very little coaching. And then I spent a full day with a private coach. I had a full private day of adventure riding and training after that. Came back home, did a bunch of training here. The BMW, the MOA rally, there was a competition there. So I signed up for that. And that one I rode really well. I was super happy with it. I didn't place, but I was really happy with it. The guys, I found out who the guys were that beat me. Not all of them, but a few of them, and thought, yeah, they better have beat me. But when we got to the trophy, that was it. I didn't get to do, not a lot of training. Found parking lots. I mean, all this stuff is things that you can just do at home in your backyard, no matter how small your backyard.
It's practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know they had one. I can't remember what the title was. There was a big adventure bike deal this summer up up by Leavenworth and Plain, Washington. I
The
know
Tour
Long
Tech
Haul Paul
rally.
was up there. Yeah, that's what it was, a Tour Tech rally.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think that was three days too or something. I remember I was wanted to see if I could try to get up there to meet him, but it didn't work out to get up there. But
Yeah.
it would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, they do. They've invited us out every year. It's always a scheduling conflict, and it's so far away from here.
Yeah, that is a long way for you.
It's a couple grand in fuel, plus our lodging, plus. So,
Well, yeah,
and
but
then
then you
it's
just gotta
always
look at
like a
the
schedule
plus
conflict.
because then you could go down to John's house and go see John, and you guys can work your way over here, and
Right?
you got to go big picture, Craig.
Bigger picture. But like I said, it's the
Yeah,
scheduling thing. You got to go
yeah,
all the way there and then come back for the Sturgis rally, or go all the way there and then go to Myrtle Beach, or I can't remember what the order is, but we're going to be out your way in June. We're going to be in
yeah. You'll
Redmond,
be down
Oregon.
in Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little south of Seattle, but you'll find us.
Yeah, yeah. You just got to hop I-5 and just head south.
Yeah, yeah.
Down to the Great Oregon. Yeah, 'cause I can remember back. I know when you were, doing a lot of getting ready for your adventure bike playing stuff. You had a video. I think you were in Daytona, like going around through one of the vendors, like on your bike, and then I think you were saying something about they're getting a little upset they didn't like what you were doing.
Well, no, I was tormenting the Clockworks people. And
Oh, that's okay. That's what it was.
yeah, they're pretty cool. Like they're like, oh, that's cool, because when there's nothing going on, there's nothing going on for any of us. So I would, literally go in their booth and then find a little sign and go around it. And then there was this custom bike there. That was the guy that had the problem, because I was going around his bike really slow, doing these 360s around his bike, and he was a little upset about it. And I'm like, you'll be fine, don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, because all that stuff you do, like the adventure bike. It just ties into better handling, and you get more comfortable with riding, and you just continually build your skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And slow riding is where it's at. Anybody can go fast and straight, or, anybody can beeline down the freeway for 1,000 miles or whatever. That's easy, but can you
Yeah.
mess around in a parking lot and make it look like you know what you're doing? That's the hard part.
Oh man, you watch, like you were saying earlier, some of the with the police competitions and whatnot, and all those closed courses set up the cones. But some of those are freaking amazing. You watch some of those
Yeah.
videos, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah. I would love to jump into some of those courses and see what that's like.
Yeah, I would need a lot of practice. A lot.
The cones move. I mean, if you hit them, they
This
get
is
out of the
true.
way. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's a high risk. So you just got to try it.
Yeah, true.
They gave us some cool lessons, and I haven't tried them on the Road King course because that's put away for the winter. But in the spring, I bought a bag of tennis balls, and I have some course ideas for parking lots that I'm going to see. I know exactly what I can do on the BMW, how tight I can make it. I want to know how tight I can make it on the old Road King. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh, even like ones that are cheap, you can get like the cones for doing soccer, because they're only like 6-inch round little tiny cones that stick up a couple inches off the ground. God, you can get lots of those cheap.
If you watch my Instagram, maybe it's not on there. I have a video, the very first test or challenge or whatever. I'll just call it a challenge. The very first challenge in the qualifier was this course that was ridiculously tight. And I come around the second lap. You had to do it twice. And I come around the second lap and caught a cone. Those cones, when you hit them, they'll move. So if you're not ready, that thing will slide out from under you. You're on the ground before you can even realize what happened, even though you're going slow. I got it on camera.
Shit. Oh, that's good. So you got any more of those, lined up for next year? You're gonna try some more?
I don't. This was my shot. I told myself, this is it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to qualify. I'm going to go to Africa. Everything's going to be good. And I didn't make it. I sucked. I just was not quite good enough that day. but I don't plan on qualifying the next one. Rene at the event said you need to try it again because it's just a cool event, but I have no plans of trying it again. So if that changes, it changes, but it is what it is, and that's okay.
I think you should try again because bottom line, if you're having fun, God, go do it again. I mean, it's like you're talking, you can see how you progress a skill and whatnot. It's like, it's like you're saying, set up more little courses in your backyard, a little more practice, and go have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what time brings. It's 2 years before the next qualifier, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, and then I can also understand, you guys, when it comes to summertime, you're a very busy person. Your whole family going, all the events and all the travel you do. I can also understand that aspect of it.
Yeah. And that's kind of it. I would get home and it was really I'm beyond blessed. I would get home from work, supper was ready, and she'd say, "Here you go. I'll take care of dishes. You get out there and practice." So, and I don't know if I want to do that to her again. We'll see.
Hey, but she was supportive and wants you to do it, then you're gonna have to take Renee's advice.
Well, you're not wrong.
When you got the blessing, that's half of it right there. It's like, okay.
Yeah. She says way rather she had me do that than the hoka hay. And yeah. I can't say I don't understand that one.
Yeah, Amy said that way too. We're talking about she's like, "You really?" I said, "I'm, maybe in 26 it'd be great. I'd like to try." She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I wish I would have never followed it and everything else." So, well,
it's just
not like
a motorcycle.
It is, and it's when we talk about it. I'm kind of, if I was to sign up to do it, it's along the same kind of mentality that you put forth. It's I'm not trying to win. I'm not trying to come in first.
Yeah.
I just want to see, do I have what it takes mentally and physically to finish it within, like you're saying, the 14-day mark, and that's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm curious to see the 26 route.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah, next year's next year's route, I don't think I'd enjoy it that much, but I don't know, who knows.
Yeah, going to Alaska, that would suck.
It's stressful because I worry.
Well, you shouldn't worry. It would be less stressful.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh. So when does season start ramping up for you guys for, seat selling?
Seat selling, we hope it never wraps up. We have
right.
Yeah, we have another batch of stuff coming. I don't remember when they said that hits the water. I think it's next week, but that's headed this way. But we're home now through the end of the year, I believe. So Daytona in the fall is kind of our wrap up. I've been getting calls and stuff from people down in Galveston this weekend that say that, it might be time to give it another shot. So we'll see what happens. Reading Dylan's comment.
Yeah, my wife just sends me off and forgets about me.
Yeah. So the next year we'll see, but typically, we're done in the fall of October, Oktoberfest in Daytona, and then we kind of regroup, get things put back together, get the shop rearranged, get everything cleaned up. It's a long summer, so it takes a month to catch up and get everything cleaned up, and then all the new ideas we come up with through the year, we can kind of build them in the shop, see what we think, kind of go from there, see if it's going to work next year. And then, we start again right away. In January, we head to Louisville, Kentucky for the Parts Unlimited show. February, there's a show I'm contemplating in Vegas. If I do that, it's just going to be a quick zip down there and back for some meetings. And then March, it's Daytona, and it starts all over again.
So it's kind of funny. So in a way, it's like Daytona closes you out, and then Daytona opens you back up.
Yeah, it is. No, in
That's
the same
cool
exact spot. It is, yeah. Because we kind of know, like, all right, we'll see you next spring when we leave the lot. Everybody's like, all right, we'll see you in the spring. because not everybody does all the other shows and the other things that we do throughout the winter. So we've trimmed that back quite a bit.
Daytona would be fun, but as far as riding, that'd be a tough one that time of the year from literally going diagonally across the country. Even the passes trying to get down towards California, then obviously would run the Gulf Coast. But yeah, that one would be kind of hard. Unless you're Frank, then it's no problem.
Right. Yeah, I think the trick from you is just to run the coast all the way to Southern California and then cross the country.
Yeah, and hope that Texas will be warm.
Yeah, exactly. And Flagstaff is an issue.
That's right. I mean, I've seen stuff down there. It would be fun to go just to experience that one time, but I don't know, maybe one of these years, even maybe just have to fly.
I would fly. I don't know that I would worry about riding a motorcycle unless you like going flat and straight. There aren't hills or curves. There's one curvy road, and it's pretty cool, but that's it.
Yeah. Save that for the summertime when it's warm. You can kind of enjoy the ride a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah. I think Dylan said it was like 2 vacations in one. He came down last March and hung out for bike week for a while, and it was like a rally and it was a beach vacation all at the same time.
Hey, there you go. Best of both worlds.
Yeah. So I don't know that I'd make the trip for you. I'd fly.
Yeah, it'd make more sense, really.
Yeah.
For sure. So besides that, you got anything else on the, anything new that's going to be popping up next year for, maybe places you're going to be going, or is it just kind of really stay the same schedule for you?
So as far as WildAss, no, that's all the same.
Okay.
We do, it's run through the schedule. I think January is Parts Unlimited, February is Vegas, March is Daytona, April's Arizona, May is Myrtle Beach, and then Lake George, New York, and then Redmond, Oregon in June. And then in July, we do Adventure Fest and then Sturgis, which carries us halfway through August. And then we have a Parts Unlimited show after that. And then that's September. And then October is Biketoberfest, and that's another whole event.
And then chill for the winter.
It all starts over. Yep. Try to find some motorcycle riding in between and make it happen. So got some stuff planned for next summer, but we'll get to that some other time.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. So actually, Springer Mike had a question. What's your favorite rally that you really enjoy going to?
Favorite rally? So then let's ask a clarifying question. What do you mean by my favorite? Because there's so many different ones. Daytona is a favorite because that's where WildAss was launched in 2016. The crew down at J&P Cycles is freaking phenomenal. Absolutely love them guys. Americade is in one of the most beautiful parts of the country, which is in Lake George, New York. The BMW rally, that crowd is the most welcoming, embracing crowd there is, the BMW crowd. They're freaking phenomenal. And we have such a good time at that event. And then we go to Sturgis. How do you top Sturgis, right? I mean, you were there. It is non-stop mayhem. Like the time we get to the tent to the time we zip that tent back up, it's just not, it doesn't stop the whole time. You were there for some rain, so it did get slow.
Yeah.
But, and then there's a kind of bittersweet Biketoberfest when it's all over too, So which is my favorite? I don't know. Maybe my favorite is Adventure Fest, which is our smallest one, but I take the BMW and I ride the whole goddamn weekend. It's great.
Hey, and that's definitely a bonus.
Yeah, I go out with customers. I do riding, I do rides. We go, it's hardcore adventure riding, all the side-by-side trails through the Black Hills. That's where we go. We take the bikes on all of those things. We go down single track, you name it. We're just out riding. And that's my thing. I love to ride motorcycles. So
that would be a lot of fun.
That would be my favorite for that reason, is I just get to get out and rip it up.
I know I really enjoyed, like, when you took me through, was that Van Auker Canyon? That was absolutely beautiful up through Nemo.
That's a great ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I was telling
right.
my
We
dad
rode
about
that
it when we
way.
got back. He's like, I don't know if I've ever seen that. I was like, you ever get back? I said, that was cool as hell.
My dad was saying too, he goes out there every Labor Day weekend. He said, I've never been on that road. And that road that our back road to work is pretty
Yeah.
phenomenal. I mean, that is a
It is a
great
great,
ride.
oh, it's a great way to start the day. I mean, the scenery and it's just, God, it's great. There's hardly ever no traffic, which was awesome. Even, yeah. Like we took me and Jared and Amy, and that was just
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. No, that road is great. I mean, like Jarrett says every year, it's just that commute to work can't be beat.
No, and I think it's, you talk to other people, it's kind of one of those little secret places that I don't think a whole lot of people know about. I mean, but there's so much riding to do over there, so I can understand, you don't know one little back highway, but yeah, I was very grateful that you showed me that one. That was great.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Speaking of Sturgis, I'm going to put you on the spot. You guys are coming next year?
We don't know yet. It all depends on our how the move goes if our daughter goes to Colorado and what happens. So we'll try to know something by later in the
When is
year,
she
early.
moving?
She's thinking maybe in March.
Oh, that won't
I don't
interfere
know.
at all. We're not going to be there till August.
Yeah. So I know. Yeah, we'll see. It was a lot of. We did have a lot of fun over there. It was a good time.
We all loved having you guys. You guys are awesome. It was great for sure.
Oh, I got a kick out of your dad. He was great. I know I was talking about where one night is so I'd like a little couple things like maybe do a few little upgrades motor. He's like, well, is it broke and something going wrong? I'm like, no. And he goes, and why the fuck are you worrying about it? Just ride the goddamn thing. Okay.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
Yeah. Oh, plus, yeah, and and Amy, Seth's looking at going to Texas, so yeah, family's going to be kind of might be splitting up next year.
Sturgis right between them all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Seth's
Well,
gonna,
we'd love to have you. So hopefully it works
yeah,
out.
we'll see what can happen, because Seth's gonna sign up for lineman school, so he is gonna do that in the spring, and he wants to go to Texas,
Good for him.
so that'll be good. He wants to try his path and the lineman and see what he can do.
Be a
Yeah, it's like
shocking
Amy said, it was
experience.
so much fun. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, a buddy of mine asked me, he was having some problems. He's like, are you familiar with, electrical stuff on houses? I'm like, yeah, it hurts. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. We'd love to have you back. So hopefully you can make it.
Yeah, we'll see what we can work out and figure it out a little later. So, well, shoot, man, thanks for coming and hanging out for a little while and talking some adventure bikes. It's something I'd love to try sometime, but got too many other irons in the fire, so that's gonna have to wait a little while.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. They'll be around for a while, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
They're a
think
lot
that's
of
one of the
fun.
bikes I wish I would have never sold. I had a TT 500 that I freaking loved, but toys come and go.
They do. So, well, cool.
So, well, yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out, and got you out of work a little early tonight, so you can save the backbreaking labor and everything else, and put it off another while.
That's right. If you get everything done today, there's nothing to do tomorrow. So no point getting it all done.
That's right. Oh, I forgot what question, Amy. I was supposed to ask something, I freaking forgot.
What is it?
I can't remember. Maybe
Probably
she'll
my
text me
favorite
real
part of the
quick.
day. What was your favorite part of the day?
What was my favorite part of the day?
So for everybody watching, and Denver can attest to this. If you travel with the WildAss crew at supper every night, you are asked what was your favorite part of the day, because what happens is you get dealing with public, right? You get to dealing with public. Now we are blessed where we're not dealing with pissed off public. We're dealing with public that's on vacation. But sometimes you get people that just don't get it, or they're maybe not happy, or whatever. And that's a question every night at supper. We go all the way around the table and everybody has to share it, right?
Right.
So what was your favorite part of the day?
My favorite part of the day was having, God, now this is really going to sound bad, but it's all because of that goddamn joke. Having Starbucks like a half a block away from my hotel this morning, that was my favorite part of the day, was going and getting some coffee this morning. The end.
Was it pumpkin spice?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I had a triple shot pumpkin spice latte this morning. I needed it.
Oh, that's funny. And yes, you have to say the end, which you did. So
Yes.
then the next person knows that they can continue their story.
Yeah.
So
what was your favorite part of the day, Craig?
Mine, we were cutting wood. We had a trailer full of wood sitting out here, and we got it all cut up, and sawdust and like the scrap wood just goes right in the fire pit. Keep the fire going all day. Just get rid of all that crap. Then you don't have anything to clean up. Rene and I are sitting down, and trailers put away, fire's going, mess is cleaned up, and we're sitting by the fire pit, and all of a sudden I hear this crash in the woods behind me, and I look, and there's a deer freaking beelining. Like, it looks like it's coming right at me, but it's not. Past probably, there's no way it was 12 feet from me, so 10 feet from me on a dead run, flag up, just on a mission, like something spooked it. Well, it's deer season, so maybe, and we could hear the neighbor kids, down the way playing outside. So, but I'm like, look at that. And Renee's like, what? And then it just goes, whoa, flying right past us. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. People are out sitting in the woods in their deer stands being all stealthy and stuff, and we're just sitting out by the fire and one comes cruising by. So that was my favorite part of the day, the end.
Amy had one like that last night. We were up at I think it's called the Blue Spirit up in Leavenworth, and sitting there, all of a sudden here come two little mule deer just walking out. They walked like they were maybe 10, 12 feet from her. Urban deer, they didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever been that close to a mule deer in my life. I'm like, they didn't care either.
Did she type in your question yet?
No, that was it. You got it. That's what I was supposed to ask.
Oh, favorite part of the day?
Yep. Oh, we still,
easy.
The funny thing, we still do it at home. It's just one of those things that caught on. It's kind of fun, really. Makes you think for a minute and, find the positive of whether you got a bad day or not.
You got a shitty day going. All of a sudden now you have to trigger a positive memory as the end of the day. So pretty cool. And it generates some cool stories. Yeah, it generates some really cool stories around the supper table.
Yep, cool stories and some good laughs sometime.
Yep.
Very true.
That's how we roll, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody's asking, don't forget you can follow The Real WildAss on Instagram. WildAss Craig. Then WildAss and everything on Facebook.
Yep.
Yep.
Search WildAss. Yeah, we're not responsible for Google searches, but search us, you'll find us.
Yeah, wild-ass.com. So, well, thanks a lot for coming and hanging out tonight, Craig. Thanks everybody for hanging out. This was fun. It's always fun to catch up again. And like I said, of being over in Sturgis, we had so much fun hanging out with you guys. So it's kind of fun a way to, sit down face to face kind of, but from 1,000+ miles away. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do get to talk at least every other week. It seems like we get to catch up, but yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, it is. So right on, Craig. Well, thank you for coming tonight, and thanks everybody for tuning in. Next Sunday, we got Bry the Biker comes back. And catch up with Bry and see what he's had going on. So Milepost 117 is going to be Mr. Bry the Biker. So come join us next Sunday, same time, same channel, same place. So until then,